Addison Restaurant is Southern California's only 3 Michelin Star restaurant and home to one of the best tasting menus we have ever experienced. Led by famed chef William Bradley, Addison focuses on Californian gastronomy with courses that create a symphony of flavors crafted from rare and often local ingredients. Over the 10+ courses and 4-hour dining experience, we went on a culinary journey and enjoyed every minute of it. Here's what it's like to eat at Addison in Southern California, and check out the description for more of our fine dining videos. We started the experience by driving an hour and 45 minutes south from Los Angeles to the city of Del Mar, which is north of San Diego.
This is Addison, the only 3-star Michelin restaurant in Southern California. Let's go.
We were meeting some friends and arrived about 45 minutes before our reservation, which allowed us to walk around and explore the property and then head to the bar to get a drink before our dinner. While the drinks are of course pricey, they were very well done and we both enjoyed ours. It was a fun start to what ended up being a very memorable experience. When our friends arrived, we were shown to the immaculate dining room and almost immediately served our first course. This is known as tepache, and it's a fermented pineapple drink that was created in Mexico. From there, the sommelier came over to get our wine order, and of course you can do pairings, but we just ended up getting a bottle to share between the 4 of us. The first thing that came out was a unique oyster dish that had horseradish, smoked roe, and even green apple in it. It was a fantastic and fun start to the meal, and if you've seen my fine dining videos before, then you know I'm not reviewing each dish, just the experience as a whole. From there, the next course was the prelude, which featured 5 different bites, all completely unique. Ranging from a sake-cured kampachi to a chicken liver churro. We had so much fun trying each of the bites, and I have to say I was partial to the chicken liver churro, as weird as it sounds when it came out. Next up, the seasonal and more savory dishes started, beginning with a sashimi that was served like a flower that you peeled and had preserved pear and kiwi in between the fish. Following that, we had a unique uni dish, I'm guessing because California is such a large producer of sea urchin. It had an interesting texture and it was fun to try since the dish had both hot and cold elements.
Wow.
Next up was a caviar and egg dish that the restaurant is known for and was probably my favorite dish of the entire night.
Also, can you see that Kirby has a nice little seat for his phone? Just in case he wants to snap a photo in the middle of the meal. I do not want this to end. This is incredible. I can't imagine anything being better than this in this meal.
Actually, no, it's the most delicious thing I've ever eaten. Wow. Like, the most delicious thing.
Following that, we had basically their take on a French onion dip, complete with malt vinegar crisps and dill relish to go with it. While it seems like this is pretty fast, the pacing was actually really good and it went along with how we were eating. Next up, we had a fish that I can't remember, which they said was line caught off the coast of Japan. They even found out a method that cooks the scales into it, and I have to say this was one of my favorite dishes of the night as well. After that, we got a break from the savory and had a beautiful sourdough bread served with goat's milk butter and browned honey butter.
Amy's the sourdough queen. She was just described as. She's been making her own sourdough for a long time, so
yes,
pretty excited about this.
I'm like geeking out right now of everything they just said. Plus I need to make this honey butter immediately.
One of the most memorable things about dining at Addison is how the service feels like it's almost a choreographed dance. Basically everything hits the table at the exact same time for each person at the table, and it's just something unique that you don't see at any of the other restaurants. The next dish is called Tom Kagung, which I hope I'm pronouncing correctly, and was an incredibly flavorful soup dish. I know I've said this multiple times, but this was another favorite of mine, and they said that this is a staple on the menu. Following that was our last savory dish of the night, which was a wagyu for 2 people who paid for the upgrade and squab for the other 2. While the squab was certainly good, the wagyu was out of this world and probably worth the upgrade if you're interested.
Can't bring him anywhere. We're gonna have like 6 people over here working on this in a second. Amy's also getting cleaned up after. That looks beautiful.
It never happens.
Nope.
Before the dessert course, there was a nice reset, which was a tart grape ice with a champagne lemongrass flavor. And then to cap off the night, just like the prelude, the dessert course also had 5 different bites, each with their own unique ingredients and flavors, the perfect way to end a meal here. When the meal ended, we were able to walk into the kitchen, which was immaculate, and it was so cool to see them creating the dishes right in front of us. One of the things I notice at every fine dining kitchen I've been into is that they're all so quiet and everybody knows exactly what they're doing at every moment. It's honestly impressive to see. If you're interested in learning more about Addison, check out the blog post I have linked in the description, which will talk about cost, how to get a reservation, and some of our favorite courses. Thanks so much for watching, and you can check out the other fine dining videos in the description.